the Discovery Awards. Nominees for Professional of Distinction.
Pierre K. Pewfall is a professor of sedimentary geology at Acadia University's Department of Earth and Environmental Science. Dr. Pewfall is Canada's only phosphorite specialist, and consequently, his expertise is in high demand. He has made over 120 contributions to research in the fields of chemical and applied sedimentology, several of which are invited papers, book chapters, and seminal articles on the geology of phosphatic ore bodies. Alongside his research efforts, he also works closely with industry to develop state-of-the-art tools for the exploration and production of fertilization ores. He uses a multidisciplinary approach to his work, incorporating fieldwork with modern sedimentologic, geochemical, and microbeam techniques to understand phosphate ores. With worldwide research collaborations, he's also served as an advisor to the Geologic Survey of Western Australia and the Geologic Survey of Brazil. In Brazil, he helped develop Project Phosphate, a federal phosphorite exploration initiative aimed at feeding Brazil's growing population. Dr. Pewfall's work has significant implications for increasing Canada's ability to acquire a stable and more secure source of phosphate before a diminishing global reserve strains the Canadian agriculture industry.
Phosphate is being depleted because our current need for phosphate as a fertilizer ore will outpace the rate at which we can extract it in about 30 to 50 years, essentially leading to what's called peak phosphate, which will drive the price of phosphate up and essentially hinder the ability of some parts of the world to feed themselves.
As this looming phosphorus shortage intensifies, Dr. Pewfall's work will take on growing significance and be a key part in raising public awareness of the role of phosphorus in the food chain and raise the profile of the impact the earth sciences have on everyday life.
My hope for the future is that we can take what we learn in my lab and translate that to industry so that we can more efficiently and sustainably extract this important resource.
Dr. James Robar is the Chief of Medical Physics with the Nova Scotia Health Authority, Professor in Departments of Radiation Oncology and Physics, and Director of the Graduate Programs in Medical Physics at Dalhousie.
We would like to track it with millimeter accuracy so that as the patient's prostate actually moves, we can offer the highest precision and accuracy and minimal toxicity to that patient.
And in these roles, he is the director of both the clinical and academic medical physics operations in Nova Scotia. Dr. Robar has devoted his career to helping improve the lives of cancer patients who receive radiation therapy.
This is a very fast-moving field. With every passing year, this form of therapy becomes more accurate and we are able to target tumors more precisely, and that maximizes the outcomes for patients. So tumor control while minimizing toxicity to patients.
His research and development efforts have led to more than 80 publications, 10 patent applications, and 2 spin-off companies. Leaders in medical physics have recognized his knowledge and vision through his election to the position of Vice President of the international body CAMPEP, which sets standards for the education and training of future generations of medical physicists.
The AP we're going to have 230, and on the PA we're going to have 254.
Dr. Robar has a passion for translating his fundamental work into practical solutions that can be and are used in the clinic. As a frontline clinical medical physicist, he identifies needs in cancer therapy and allows these to drive his research. For example, in the Halifax Cancer Clinic, word-of-mouth communication between patients has prompted requests for inclusion in a current clinical trial of 3D printed materials developed by Dr. Robar for use in the treatment of breast cancer. Dr. Robar is a key ambassador for his field in Atlantic Canada. As a result of his leadership, new and leading educational programs are now available. Innovation in cancer care is thriving, and patients in Nova Scotia are assured state-of-the-art treatment.
We're on the cusp of a big change in ocean activities.
Fred Wariski is the Executive Director and co-lead of the Ocean Tracking Network, a global research, technology, and development platform headquartered at Dalhousie University. Under Dr. Wierske's leadership, the OTN has become the world's aquatic animal tracking network, enabling sustainable management of valued aquatic species by providing knowledge of animal movements and survival, and linking this knowledge to environmental conditions.
OTN is all about electronic telemetry and following the movements and survival of marine animals, with the ultimate goal of making sure that they're there for future generations.
Dr. Wierske's research, developing the first large-scale ocean acoustic arrays, is the foundation on which much of OTN is modeled. This has allowed OTN to create an international partnership and network of researchers whose work has been transforming the way the scientific community thinks about interdisciplinary research and the sharing of data.
OTN can only work if it's done in partnerships. It is that sharing that is the key to the future of ocean observing.
Dr. Wierske has connected with politicians and the public to raise awareness about the role of technology in sustaining the oceans. OTN's tracking results are used to determine equitable fishery allocations, the design of marine reserves, and recovery planning for marine species, to name just a few specific applications. Prior to joining Dalhousie with OTN, Dr. Wierske was a professor at McGill University and then Vice President of Research and Environment for the Atlantic Salmon Foundation, and has also served for 8 years as Chair of the Huntsman Marine Science Center.